Okay, I'm excited for this one because we are going to make it more applicable than you can imagine and hopefully change your lives. Okay, so today's class is about going from I got the listing signed to now getting an offer and selling the house, right? That's like our timeline. Do you guys know how long that takes? So the ERS gets signed. Ooh, look at you with stats. Okay, so you get the exclusive right to sell, and then you have some sort of a timeline, and then you go under contract. So I want to first start by talking about everything that needs to happen here, and then we're going to break down some of the important steps. And yes, it's about, you said 62? I believe you more than me. Yeah, I say 60-ish. So me adding an ish, 62 sounds more definitive. So when you get the exclusive right to sell, so let's say you're in the listing agreement and you say, let's work together, and you stick out your hand and they say, yep, let's do this. You shake hands. What's your next step? Yeah, they sign the agreement. You walk out of that house. You do a little celebration dance in the front yard while trying to look cool at the same time. Then what? Maybe. Maybe you don't have a price. Maybe you already decide on a price. Let's say you already have a price. They're like, I want to sell it for 500,000. And you say, that's a good price for me. I think your house will sell for 500,000. Got to put it on the market. So there's probably a bunch of ways to do this. We'll put a little line here and say go live. And already my marker sucks. Let's go purple. Third time's the charm. Live. So how to do that, we actually make it super easy on you because there's a handful of steps before we go live on the market. Number one, just let Brittany, the transaction coordinator, know. Say, I got a listing, and she'll probably send you like a form to fill out. To be honest, I don't even remember because we've been changing it so much. Once you fill that out, she will start to create a whole bunch of things because we need to go live, we need to put it on the MLS. To put it on the MLS, we need to know all of the information about the house. We need to have a description about the house, and we need to have photos. You don't need the seller disclosures, but I love when you have them. And so usually Brittany also sends those to be filled out. So that is a big step. So the sellers will have some homework. There's a document that's called the MLS input form. When you go and create a listing, oh, and I'm going to sign into the MLS, but you can see, like, you can print off a document of every field that you could possibly fill in the listing. If you grab an old listing, it will pre-fill that in and you just have to decide what's changed and what hasn't. So that needs to be filled out by the sellers, signed by the sellers. Usually the seller disclosures, they don't have to do that to go live, but most of the time you should do that. And then it's like photos and description, and then we can go live. Now, I suggest when you are in your listing presentation, we're going to talk about a handful of things that you should do. Have you guys seen the listing presentation? Who did the last one? Oh. Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh, cool.
You were at
I leave and the whole world falls apart. That's no good. That means I haven't built a business. Okay. Well, I like them both. Okay, well, I'm gonna tell a few things that hopefully they mentioned. So number one is laying out a timeline to go live. So when you're getting the exclusive right to sell signed, I want to lay out the timeline. So the first thing I look at is how much work do they need to do to get ready? And then I'm going to give them a date of when we're going to go live and work backwards from there. My very favorite ways to do this is photos and that says live. Sign. I want these two to happen sometime between Monday and Wednesday. Okay. Ideally, I like both of these on a Tuesday. Because if you have the photo and sign on Tuesday, then that gives them the whole weekend to clean, and Monday they probably aren't going to mess up their house. So photos Tuesday is great. The sign, you want it to go in the yard as close to the live date as possible, because technically we're not supposed to market a property to the public for longer than 24 hours. So, yep. So if it goes live, if a sign goes in the yard, technically you have 24 hours to put it active on the market. So photos and signs somewhere between Monday to Wednesday. Live, my very favorite is Wednesday or Thursday. Supposedly, if you post a listing on Thursday, it gets more views than a listing that's posted any other day. I don't know why. Doesn't make sense to me. It used to be Wednesday. Now it's Thursday. Yeah. Yeah. The other reason I like this is because then we're going to have an open house, and we'll talk a little bit about that. And we're doing that Saturday. So that gives us 2 to 3 days to market for our open house. And so if we go live on Friday, you don't have a lot of time. Thursday, it gives you a whole like day and a half that it's active on the market before the Saturday that you're doing the open house. If you have Wednesday, you just get that little more time. So some people like to do it Tuesday because in our team meeting every Tuesday, we present all of our listings. I like to do that after the first week. So it's all preference. You guys are going to come up with kind of your game plan. But so that's our like pre-go live game plan. Then we're live. We are active on the market. And then we are going to be on the market for 60-ish days. 62 if you're average, longer if you're not, shorter if you're better than average, but somewhere in that time frame. So I want to know from all of you, what would you do to sell a house?
Final offer.
Final offer. Plug that in a little bit. What else? Besides put it on the MLS, because we already got that one down. Peter.
At that 62 days. Is that to under contract?
Yeah, before you get that offer that you accept, it's about 2 months. Yeah. So what are you doing to sell the house in that 2 months? We're in like the 90-ish% right now. So if you get an offer that you accept, it's like 9 out of 10 of those close. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Bailey, what'd you have? You have an idea? How do you sell a house? Okay. Ooh, let's make a list. This sounds like a list activity. Okay. So we're going to post it to social media. We'll talk about all of these in a minute. What else? I'll default to the MLS, right? Because we already put it on the MLS because we had to. Facebook Marketplace. That is definitely different than social media, by the way. KSL. Oops, that's a K. It looks like an L and a squiggly. It's not a Japanese character, I promise. Flyers, where are you giving those flyers out to? I'm going to put that door knocking. Okay. Open house. What else?
Depending on the house.
Ooh, yeah. I'm going to do a plus party. What else can you do to sell a house? Oh yeah, you got the yard sign. Maybe some directional, bring them off of the main road to just even say, there's a house for sale down here. Make some, we'll just call that prospecting. Call your sphere, call the neighbors, call the mayor. Team meeting? Yes. Yes. I'm gonna WhatsApp. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna call that an email blast. Okay, what else? How else do you sell a house? Do you guys want to know a secret? I think that, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things that we came up with as a group you will not sell the house from. But the one that I put down, I think that's why you sell the house. The MLS is what sells houses. So why do we have all of these other things that we do? Backup. Maybe they'll sell a house. Right? Why else?
To get them to go to the MLS.
Imagine this. Imagine you take a listing and you are like, hey, seller, we're live. Congratulations. We're getting ready to do an open house. And then on Monday, you're like, hey, I just wanted to give you a quick recap of the open house. We had all of these people through. This is what they said. And then fast forward to Friday and you're like, hey, I haven't done anything yet this week because we put it on the MLS and that should sell the house. How do you think your sellers will feel? And then fast forward 30 days and your sellers are like, what did you do to sell my house? And you're like, well, I put it on the MLS 30 days ago. Like, how happy would those sellers be with you? Zero happy. So we are going to do all of these things. It's for 2 reasons. Number one, you want to make your sellers feel great. Look at all of the stuff that I am doing. Some of these will actually help. You might sell a house from something like this, right? Someone might walk into your open house and be like, I love it. I'll take it. Here's all of the money that you need to buy it. Like that could potentially happen. Someone could see a sign and call you and say, hey, I like this house. Can I buy it? And like those things happen. So we're going to do all of these just in case as a backup because it might work, but it makes your seller feel great. The next thing is really for you because all of these things that you do are going to get you leads. The chances that someone buys an open house that they walk through, like they walk into that open house and they say, I want to buy this house, are very slim. 4% of people say they met the agent they used at an open house. They don't say, I bought the house I met them at. So I would say, even if we're like 1 in 4 is that way, that's 1% of people buy the house they walk through, kind of an idea. So super low. So we are doing all of these things to try to get you leads. I have this theory. Let me draw more pictures. Okay, so your goal when you take a listing, I don't know why I need to draw this, but it seems like a picture in my mind. So you obviously want to get an offer and go under contract, right? The other thing that you want to do is you want to go find a buyer. So you have your next client. With a buyer, you obviously want to find them a house to get them under contract, but you also want to leverage your buyer to try to go find another listing. And then when you get an under contract, you want to try to get referrals from those people so you get buyers and listings. Because imagine if you found one person right now, like your first ever person that you find as a listing. And they're like, I need to sell my house. And they're like, I'm moving out of state, or I'm not even going to buy a house. I'm just going to rent and I'm going out of state. So you're not going to get any commission on the buy. But if you can market your property well enough that you bring in buyers, Now all of a sudden you have another client that's a buyer that wants to buy that house. Maybe they have a house to sell. Maybe they don't. They just inherited a bunch of money and they're like, we can qualify for a house now. And so now they're a buyer and they're like, I want to buy a house. I wanted to buy your person's house, but it's not quite the thing for me. So why don't you help me find another house? And now you have this buyer, and we can try to leverage that similar to how we just listed out all of the things that we would do for a seller. We can do some of these things for a buyer, right? Very different, but we could do some work for that. So then if you have a buyer and you're like, I'm going to go door knock for you, I'm going to send out flyers for you, I'm going to prospect, I'm going to call my sphere, I'm going to post on social media that I have a buyer, maybe you're able to get a listing. And then that listing will get you a buyer. And all of a sudden, it's this snowball effect that every time you find one person, you're actually setting up this domino of finding more and more people. That's why some of the agents here get business and it feels like they just have all the momentum behind their sales because they got a listing that's getting them a buyer, that's getting them a listing, that's getting them a buyer, and it just goes on forever and ever and ever. So that's kind of our goal is we have to sell the house. We need to make the sellers feel good when they're doing it, but we want to go find more clients. So of our list here, if you had a goal to find a client, not someone that's going to buy your house, but your next buyer that you would work with, is there anything that we are missing from this list? How you would go market to find another buyer? Okay, you guys think on that? Okay, I need to log into the MLS while we do this too. We're gonna judge things. So, do you know why people get mad about things? Like why your sellers would ever be upset?
Sell their house.
You didn't sell your house. What did you say? Taking too long. What do both of those have in common? You're never gonna get this. This is too specific of an answer for me to be questioning you like this. It is unmet expectations. Are you guys starting at 11? No, we'll move over. You guys can have this one. I'm pretty sure you guys are cooler than me and can have this one. So all disappointment comes from unmet expectations. So if your sellers have the expectation that you'll sell the house and you don't sell the house, they're upset. If they have the expectation that you're going to do it within 30 days and you do it within 60 days, they're upset. So we need to manage their expectations the entire time throughout the transaction. What this looks like to me is I am talking to them every single week. Ideally, I am telling them what I have done every single week to sell their house. COQB. Oh, if I type that in, no. Don't look at my password. I know you guys are going to remember it. Oh, it's gone. So I want you to set great expectations and never enter a weekend without talking to the seller. Your Friday calls might be, hey, I did this open house and this is how it went, even though you've already told them how it went. It might be, I presented your house in my team meeting to 80 agents that came to our team meeting. I don't know if that's how many people come to every team meeting. Or it might be, hey, we didn't have a single showing this week. I think we're slowing down. If we're not getting another showing this next week, I think we might need to look at adjusting the price.
Price enhancement.
Price enhancement, yep. Okay, we might have to move rooms if they come back. Oh. So here's what we're gonna do. We have 213 listings in our office. we're gonna go into judgment mode. And we're gonna start talking about what we should do to better sell a house. Maybe I can't do grid view, is that not a thing? Okay. Oh, there it is. Let's just scroll down a little bit. Ooh, how about this Payson house? Okay, so we have done nothing here. Let's see whose listing this is. Dennis Davis. He's an older guy that's in our office. He's actually my profit share. So
We all know Dennis.
Dennis, he's a good one. Okay, so some of the things that I automatically look for, just so you guys know how I judge listings very quickly, is I start by scrolling to here to make sure that this all looks filled out, right? Because if you don't say you have a laundry or a kitchen or anything like that, it's going to be a little bit off and you're not going to get the right amount of people. So that all looks fine. So it's this little lot. It looks like he's filled out everything. It's got the school districts, all the schools, all of the interior features. Look at how big his remarks are. So if someone is searching something by remarks, like if they put pool in it, he has pool written. And so I think it's great. It has HOA remarks. So this looks pretty good, right? Should we judge his photos? He has descriptions on each photo. This looks good, right? Shoni, you want us to move?
If possible.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll do that.
You guys are welcome to say anything else. Too.
Hey, Ritz, if you're paying attention, I'm going to jump back on my laptop in a minute. Yeah. So fast. You guys ready for this last 5 minutes? Here's what I want you to do, and this is going to be homework, so you guys can jump in this class because this next thing will probably be cooler. I want you to go judge some listings at Keller Williams and see out of these ideas that you had, which of these are happening and not happening. Here's what you're really going to do though, is I want you to figure out what these listings are missing in terms of marketing to go attract leads. So if Dennis's listing was not on social media, it's not on the Facebook marketplace, it's not on KSL, no one's ever door knocked, they haven't done an open house, all of these other things, you can approach Dennis and say, hey, Dennis, I'm a newer agent and I would love to market your listing. Would you be okay if I put it on Facebook Marketplace and KSL and did all of these other things for it? And if he says yes, do you know what you get to do? You get to market this listing like crazy and try to attract all of the buyers that you possibly can. And then they are your buyers. So the only thing you're missing from going from how do I sell a house is you just need to talk to the sellers. Dennis is going to be talking to the sellers. He's giving them updates, but you're going to go use that listing to try to get as many leads as humanly possible. There are 213 listings active at Keller Williams. And so jump on and say, which of these is not marketed well? Who is the agent? And ask them if you can do some of these things. They might say yes, they might say no, and don't get offended either way. Because like if you ask someone like the Red Sign team or the Wild team, I know that they are doing most of these. They might not be putting it on Facebook Marketplace though. And so that might just be like one of those things they're like, yeah, we're doing everything, but if you want to put it on Facebook Marketplace, we actually don't do that. And maybe you can get some leads that way. So go out and ask, figure out, and I would use this as your game plan that when you get a listing, you're going to go execute on this. So you know your marketing plan that you're going to run through to not only just sell the property, and look cool to the agent or to the sellers, but you are going to get as many leads as humanly possible. And then every Friday you give your seller an update. You can give the agent an update, right? Hey, I posted it here. I got this many leads. Just figured I'd let you know, or this many inquiries, let you know so you can let your sellers know. So that's your homework. I would suggest look at least 3 or 4 listings, try to figure this out, and then try to see if you can go market those listings. Throw it on your social media, Facebook Marketplace, KSL, try to do an open house, do as much marketing as humanly possible, because this will bring in leads. Deal? And then stick around because this class is going to be awesome.